In today's mental health check, when it comes to trying to be productive, a lot of us, including myself, we focus on managing our time.
Yeah, some people jot down to-do lists, others stick to calendars, maybe even online calendars. But now some experts are warning that our obsession with time might not be as beneficial as we think. Joining us now to talk about this is Tanya Dalton. She's an expert on productivity and author of the book, The Joy of Missing Out, Live More by Doing Less. Love that title.
Thank you.
And you said something that, I don't know, it might have been controversial for us, that time management can actually be a bad thing.
Yes.
So why is that, and how might it impact our mental health?
Trust me, you're not alone in this, because people are like, time management, I thought that was what productivity was all about.
Right.
Yeah, well, the problem is we're so fixated on the clock, and the truth is, we can't manage time. It's like going to the beach and trying to manage the ocean, right? To try to manage the waves and make them stop.
Yeah.
Think about how you would wear yourself out and exhaust yourself. This is why we have a lot of overwhelm and a lot of burnout, because we're fighting something that's just consistently happening. And what's amazing is that for hundreds of thousands of years, we had a harmonious relationship with time. Because we operated with the seasons, we operated with the time of day.
Right.
I mean, think about.
We went to bed when the sun went down.
Right, even in the winter, we had fewer work hours because the sun went down and we didn't have electricity. Of course, we didn't have emails to check at 11 o'clock at night as well. So we've lost sight of the cycles, the natural cycles that happen in our body. And with that fixation on the clock, it's causing a lot of burnout, a lot of overwhelm, and it adds a lot of stress.
You wrote an article for Forbes where you talked about your own experience as a manager of companies and people. And I think what you were saying is that you, too, were focused on time.
Absolutely.
What's the alternative? What's the pivot we need to make?
Yeah, well, hey, I have to say, I love the color-coded calendar. I love the labels. I love all those things.
Don't take that away from me.
Yeah, I'm not going to take that away from you, because it does help us feel organized. But when we're fixated on the clock, we're fixated on the time and not the quality of the work. This is something I talked about recently in my Oxford talk as well, is this idea and this concept that we're really focusing in on how much time we're spending in our seats versus what's the quality of the work we want to have accomplished. When we shift that thinking as managers, even as managers of our home, our CEOs of the home, stay-at-home moms, we find that really the work improves, and then we feel so much more satisfied and successful at the end of the day.
And I love that you're talking about quality, not quantity. I mean, how do we increase productivity, if that's our goal, at work or at home, right? Because sometimes you do want to be efficient. You've got a family, you've got a life, you're trying to live it fully.
Absolutely. Well, I think this is the thing, is we make the mistake of thinking productivity is about doing more when it's really about doing what matters most. So there's a system I like to teach people I call the 5 Ps that really helps you create a little more productivity in your life without being too rigid or too structured. So the first P is to purge. Get it out of your brain and get it onto a sheet of paper. So this is just giving a brain dump at the start of the week. Then we do process. That's our second P. So we're going to take that list and we're going to process each day as it comes. Treat each day as a new opportunity. Spend 5, maybe 10 minutes planning that day. And while we're doing that planning, the third P is to prioritize. Toss out that old to-do list. It's taking you everywhere but where you want to go. It's way too long, way too confusing.
Yes.
And prioritize. What are 3 to 5 things you really want to accomplish that day? And then, getting us to our fourth P, let's protect your time. Those things we want to prioritize, let's block them into our calendar and protect that time. And then we have our fifth P, which is to propel. Set up tomorrow for success. So make a few notes, jot a couple of notes to yourself about what you want to accomplish tomorrow. Use that purge list that we started off with at the beginning of the week to really give yourself the momentum for tomorrow.
Oh, I love that.
I love all this. And the idea is like daily checking in, because I do the exact thing you're talking about. I have this ongoing to-do list that just keeps growing.
Adding stress. Adding stress. Well, what happens too is that, let's say that you've planned out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday's amazing. Tuesday's a hot mess.
Right.
It happens. We wake up with allergies. We have kids with nightmares who come to our bed in the middle of the night. Well, then what happens Wednesday? You're already behind, and you already feel like you're struggling. So that allows you, planning each day as it comes, allows you that flexibility and grace for life to happen.
Super briefly, how do we bring this to our kids, teach them to use time responsibly?
Absolutely, and I love this question because as a former teacher myself, I think it's really important. Let's make sure and do regular check-ins with our family. Let them tell you what their priorities are for the week. Check in. What do you have going on this week? What are the little mini milestones and deadlines they can create for themselves to accomplish their work? Give them a good relationship with time while they're young.
I love that. Lead by example, too. Tanya Dalton, this is so good. Thank you so much.
There's much more ahead.
You're watching NBC News Daily.